next section of road is where Shane has been absolutely at his best. The car rides the bump so nicely, slides it over Boundary Street. The big bump, 180 kilometres an hour, up to 210k. Can he dive it down the inside? He's got 2 more corners after this one. This is turn 11.
Everybody sidestepping, and Di Pasquale gets so close. They're 1 corner from home. He has a sniff at the gap.
They're going to hit!
And he's turned him! He's turned him at the last corner! Unbelievable! Van Gisbergen's been turned around at the last corner by Di Pasquale. And he checks up. He checks up. He's going to give it back to him.
No, he didn't let him redress. So he was going to redress, but he didn't let him. Shane stayed there and let him go by first, so he'll get a penalty as a consequence. They're playing the judicial game.
He threw everything at it, Di Pasquale. It was a do-or-die move. Bang! Gets him in the left rear corner. They would have locked eyes at that point in the cockpit of the car, and it would be a ferocious exchange. Bang! Get that into you. So around goes Shane. Right now, Di Pasquale's thinking, what do I do? Do I back it off and roll to the line? And then the confusion at the line, and in the end, the umpire sorted it out, and a good call.
So here's the interesting one. He goes to redress. Shane doesn't allow him to redress. So he purposely parks it behind him so that you do incur the penalty. Will Brown has done a remarkable job stopping on lap 5 and being able to fend these guys off. If he can get to the end of this lap and keep Heimgartner at bay, when he come in on lap 21, it's just extraordinary. 16 lap difference. So what he's got to do now is got to get it to the inside here. Don't park it wide. That's the way. Well done. Nice job.
I love the coaching from afar. Heimgartner tries to position the car so that if he can be wide at 8, he can block pass at 9.
And just pull up here, let him run into you. Pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up.
Mate, he can't hear you. Just on the QT.
Thanks, mate.
What a supreme performance again by Shane Van Gisbergen. Greets the checkered flag at Winton for another batch of points in his unrelenting march. 5.2 seconds, Van Gisbergen over Waters. Still the battle continues. What a great battle this is. Heimgartner has another run at Brown through the final corner.
Bumps him,
and
nice.
He's going to literally race him to the line.
Well done,
boys. Great entertainment. Shelby Power Racing Team.
Oh, monster moment there by Feeney. He made it into the grass. He was able to regather control before he put his foot back on the brake and got away with it.
Whoa,
now, LeBrock has tried to move him right over. So that is an ugly moment in that little battle for 10th and 11th. So sorry, it wasn't Hazelwood who was getting up the inside. It was actually Brock Fernie. He's giving him a bump. He's giving him another bump. And now Hazelwood's going to come up the inside.
Ooh,
this is ugly.
That's not good. There's a bit of tit for tat going on out there at the moment. And that's starting to step over the line. So Craig Baird, the driving standards advisor, won't cope with this if it continues. Here we go, Mostert, and he gets chased to the inside of the road. They're on the dirty stuff there. This is awkward, and now a crossover. So Mostert having a huge crack. Chaz Mostert having a throw down the inside, and he's bowled a nice one down there to get the job done. So Mostert moves it up into 3rd position. And Will Davison, meanwhile, back in the midfield at the moment, is going very, very quickly. But all of a sudden, great pace from Chaz Mostert. Inside Van Gisbergen, he's actually giving him a little love tap. So he was right on his rear bumper. We jump on board with Shane. He got a better exit. Can he convert? This is what happens when you've got an extra K coming out of that corner. Look at the side draft effect. And Van Gisbergen's trying to sweep to the lead. Davison hangs on 2 by 2 at turn 6. Where does this end? Shane shortcuts. Will does not yield.
That is excellent driving by both of them. But it's not over. Van Gisbergen will try to get around the outside down here. He'll try to hang on the outside, which gives him the inside. Crisscross. Oh, his teammates wrecked it for him. Seriously.
Wow.
He was trying to turn back the inside to do the crisscross of Van Gisbergen, and he got smashed by his teammate.
Who to a degree is an innocent party in something like that. He's trying to also make ground where he can down the inside. Wouldn't have expected Will to have swept so far to the left. Here's another view from Chaz's car. Bang.
Have a look how high the front of Anton's car was. It was Dukes of Hazzard stuff, wasn't it, when the two of them made contact? Nice job by DJR.
So he's under pressure now, Cam Waters. And that was a very, very efficient stop from the team at Dick Johnson Racing to be able to get him right in touch. And he's threatening here because Will got a good exit out of turn 6. He might have a kilometre on hour extra out of there that could be put to good use down here on the brakes. And he does have the big dive. A desperate dive down the inside for Davison. They're battling for the effective lead. Waters runs to the outside. Davison has the run as they go down towards turn 1, and Waters gets back. What an exchange. Between Tickford and Triple Eight. Waters in search of a victory for the first one since Townsville last year. And Van Gisbergen wanting to continue that form and assert himself even further in the lead. And he chases him up the hill into turn 3. Can he get by? He's right on him, a nail biter down the hill now into turn 4. There's only a car length between them. Massive pressure on Cam Waters, who cannot afford a misstep, particularly up here, as Mark Scaife suggested, into turn 7. This is the exit of 5. Here comes the curb at 6. Bang, over the top of it. Vulnerability right here, and Van Gisbergen knows it, and he shoves the nose up the inside, but it's not quite enough. Out the other side, and still Waters has got a margin, but it's only just barely. If he can hang on to this, it'll be a great under-pressure victory for Waters. And Van Gisbergen tries to drive it out the other side of 9, but he doesn't quite have enough. He's got 3 corners remaining. This is 10. Waters survives out the other side. Now it's 2 corners that separate Cam Waters from a potential victory. They fought for this one at Monster. Van Gisbergen bombs it down the inside of the orbit, and he's almost got up there. And they come together in the final corner. And Gizzy backs away from it. And Cam Waters, a huge victory at Winton. Great last lap.
Inside. Anton gets it done. This is turn 13. Right round the outside is Van Gisbergen, who was disappearing off the road. That was Courtney, wasn't it?
They were almost 3 wide at one point there in the right-hander at 13. Di Pasquale under the attack at the moment. Waters clutching to the lead. He's back in it once more. Van Gisbergen gets up. Brock Feeney having a huge lunge down the inside. And Anton checked up. He's really having trouble getting these tyres to connect at the moment. Waters is under assault. He dives to the right. The crisscross is on from Van Gisbergen. He covers. Look at Feeney down the inside, battling for 3rd. You need to look in every direction at the moment. Now, is there a change for the lead? Does Van Gisbergen get up the inside? Yes, but does he carry too much speed into that final corner?
Yes.
The crisscross coming out the other side now for Waters. Here we go, it's a drag race down the front straight. Waters comes back one more time.
This is remarkable skill, folks. These are the best drivers of these sorts of cars in the world, have not driven in the wet all weekend, have not even thought about how wild these conditions are, can't see, and they are turning it on. Here we go, got the inside. Can he get the nose of it, my aid? No. I thought he was going to try to force his way down the inside as you go over the brow for 7 and 8.
Great skill, great delicate touch. We're looking at top-class operators, as Mark described before, and there's nothing between the top 4. And Waters is the pioneer that Mark described a moment ago, and he's slipping and sliding everywhere, and now Van Gisbergen tries to round him up in another direction, runs wide in the process. He may lose a spot to his teammate, and he has. Brock Feeney jumps up 1 spot in the process. Whoa. Did he get him? He did. We're enjoying the onboard, but we need to get back to the description here because another change. In the meantime, there was a penalty in the background for Chaz Mostert. So how slippery was that thing out there? Watching over the left shoulder of Van Gisbergen. Waters is not done. He's going to get back down the inside. This is unbelievably great motor racing between these guys. There is nothing in it. The drivers are matched, the cars are matched, and Di Pasquale's in this as well. Gentle fanning of the throttle as Cam tries to find traction against that wet tyre. He locked the brake, he's run wide, he locked the inside front, and that's an invitation for shame. Now, he managed to keep it on the racetrack critically, but we saw it bobble and knew exactly what was going on. And you saw that it was ploughing. He released the brake to get the steering back and drops a spot in the process. This is a ripping race. 2 laps remain. Track position, everything. And Waters has cleared Feeney for position number 3. Watch for Davison. Davison down the inside. No, not enough of a gap. So multiple battles going for the lead and for the minors here. Look again as they charge into the hairpin, and it was a gigantic lunge. Davison's doing the same, and Heimgartner's going to get into this. Heimgartner's sitting in 6th place. He's right in the box seat to be able to grab any of the crumbs.
I'll tell you what, if Boston gets away with this today, it's one of the best drives of his career. To come in on lap 9, put 2 tyres on, and hold the field off with a safety car is remarkable.
And I wonder whether those tyres got that nice little reprieve from that just breath that came along from the safety car.
Last lap.
Here we go. We have got 2,870 metres of supercar action to run. 0.2 of a second is the margin. Mostert is not going to give up without one hell of a fight here. He drives around the inside of turn 1, the exact prescription for what needs to be done. And he's going to cover when they get down to the right-hander at turn 5. Deep Pasquale, he's going to pull the pin and dive bomb down the inside. Mostert blocks him. He locks up momentarily. The next area of vulnerability is up at the hairpin in the left-hander at turn 6. Mostert covers him. Anton goes wide. A great battle, Scapey.
What a ripping battle. 2 of the very best operators. Mostert's been able to do this. If he keeps the car flowing nicely, he only needs one more critical element, Neil. He needs to get it onto the straight.
And
have a
Adam
look at this.
Look. Adam cannot look. None of us can. There's effectively one
Oh,
more
mistake.
and Anton bumbles it right at the critical moment. And he's let him off the hook. He's let him off the hook. Can you believe it? Stopping on lap 9. And Chaz Mostert takes his 4th victory of 22. A brilliant drive.
Wow, what great strategy by that team. Perfectly executed by this young man. That was an unbelievable performance.
It is exactly 0.45 of a second, and they're all crossed up, and he's run wide again. He's under pressure. He may hand the lead to Van Gisbergen. They are going to run side by side. Check out the response in the crowd. Turn 10. Van Gisbergen's right under the rear wing. That's the second unforced error for Waters. He's going to have to tread very, very gently, and he ran pretty wide at the final corner as well. Waters under pressure, 0.3 of a second, and Van Gisbergen is well and truly in this game now.
Van Gisbergen is right in contention to dive down the inside. This is going to be a ripper.
Bit of wheel spin on exit there for Waters, and here comes Van Gisbergen to muscle it down the inside. They're side by side, and he's done him. He's sliced down the inside. Now they're side by side through the left-hander at 10. How do they resolve this? Is there space given? There's only a couple of thousands. They've touched at 11. And Van Gisbergen lifts the throttle and gives him a breather. So that could have ended up in a plane crash at Pukekohe, but they got away with it.
Shane Van Gisbergen, absolute credit to you, sir. You could have caused the biggest shunt we've ever seen at Pukekohe just then.
He's a bit weak at the end of the back straight relative to Shane. And he's not totally hitting the apexes, but he's almost sacrificing them now to keep the rolling speed of the car up. Now he's under pressure. He's got Van Gisbergen crawling all over him at the moment, and so Shane goes high. If he can get round the outside, he knows he can displace him at turn 10. He goes for the crisscross out the other side. He looks to try and apply some better traction and drive out there. He's up to the outside of the Mustang at turn 10. Now it's around the other way. Is there courtesy? And Van Gisbergen takes the lead in New Zealand in the final race.
And he immediately blocks. He immediately moves it over to disincentivise Cam Waters. Perfect execution of that pass.